Showtime!
Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to your seats.
Showtime!
Please make your way to your seats. The show is about to begin.
Showtime!
Let the magic begin.
Welcome back to Future Tech, your weekly source for latest in tech innovation and business. I'm the startup coach, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, John Irwin. How you doing today, John?
Good. How are you, Craig?
Good. For those people listening on the podcast, you just missed some interesting discussion. Those of you watching us live, thanks for joining us. We'd love to put comments in the section, and we can respond to them. We'd love to hear any questions you have about what we're talking about. We got a very interesting bunch of stuff to talk about today, so we might as well jump right into it. Spy attire. The U.S. is investing $22 million in surveillance socks. What's going on here, John?
Really interesting. So the U.S. intelligence community, apparently they're investing, I think it's like $22 million in a new program called Smart ePants. I don't know why I did air quotes there, but to develop clothing with integrated surveillance technology. So their goal is to weave audio, video, and location sensors into items like shirts, pants, socks, underwear, so that they can function like regular clothing. What they're looking to do is the technologies involved include miniaturized microphones, cameras, GPS components woven into fabric. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that they're probably going to weave some sort of biometric scanning or something like that into the clothing as well. So the reason for this is obviously so that they could covertly record information from their environment without wearing bulky, rigid equipment. And so the program's led by IARPA, which is the intelligence community's research and development arm. So it's really interesting stuff. Again, we always talk about this when we talk about new technologies, privacy and things like that. So there are some privacy concerns, but huge investment, $22 million into this.
Yeah, I was kind of scrolling through the article for the people watching us here because we talked about some of the things we can get from wearable energy. We can get from some of the wearable circuits they have, whether it's movement, whether it's heat, whether it's water. What do you call that? Anyway, there was multiple forms of electricity that can be generated by this wearable. Now they can build that kind of stuff right into the clothing you're wearing to power potentially. Where am I? What am I seeing? What am I doing? So will we need body cams in the future? Is that a thing of the past?
Who knows? Yeah. Who knows how good the quality of the recordings will be. They should be pretty good, but I guess no longer are the days of pat downs for if you're an undercover and making sure that there's things. The biggest thing so now the thing for me is the biggest challenge here is how do you detect those things for counter surveillance, right? So obviously there's some sort of radio frequency that they're going to be emitting, but how detectable is that? And is it actually going to be on, or is there going to be local storage? Like how is that going to go?
Yeah. And the idea of having to get naked for every meeting to make sure that nobody in a corporate environment is like you've got to change into your assigned clothing before you go into the corporate boardroom when we talk about our secrets is not appealing.
Maybe bathhouses are going to come back and get popular again. That's they'll have hot tubs in the office in the offices now, and I'll have to hop in the pool.
Yeah, so what are the challenges that need to be addressed in order to, make these garments durable, comfortable to wear? And, I'll talk about the power sources in a minute. Like right now, is it Is it actually built into comfortable clothing, or am I literally wearing circuits board that's scratching the crap out of me?
Yeah, well, if in our previous one, we saw those stretchable printed circuits. I think that's going to play a big part in this. But embedding electronics, making them washable and maintain performance over time is going to be challenging. They're going to need to be durable, have some sort of coating or encapsulation. The other thing is distributing the weight and the bulk of the components evenly throughout the garments to avoid pressure points, so that you can wear it all day and so it's less detectable. And yeah, like you said, integrating power sources. So they have to be thin, lightweight, recharge without compromising fabric attributes. And I think I did read an article on, and we might have talked about it last episode, on expanding and contracting of fabrics can generate power. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. But also thermal management to prevent overheating, because you've got these woven into fabrics now, so there's less room for them to dissipate heat. Motion artifacts from the fabric stretching and compressing. There's ensuring the sensors and connections are moisture proof to survive incidents like rain or sweat. So there's a whole bunch of challenges that they still have to, and the cost of manufacturing. So that's going to be a whole new textile manufacturing methodology that they're going to have to come up with. So really interesting stuff, though. But a lot of challenges and a lot of hurdles for them to overcome.
Yeah, you're going to get past the pat down, because right now, for sure, you're going to need a big power supply. Is that a battery in your underwear? Are you just happy to see me?
Yeah, well, like there's paper thin flexible batteries such as lithium ion that could wrap around curved surfaces. That's one way to power it. Micro fuel cells that generate electricity through, I guess, metabolic processes like glucose oxidation, that could help to avoid. And then there's like we just talked about, the kinetic and piezoelectric energy harvesters woven into fabrics. And we talked about this again last week, is the triboelectric nanogenerators too. So there's a lot of different options. Apparently there's thermoelectric textiles that turn temperature differentials into power. And then you've got the hybrid energy storage, like ultracapacitors, distributed power management. So power management is going to be big, and RF signals and different things like that. So nanomaterials, I think, are going to play a big part in helping to power these and keeping them charged.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't really want to be wearing any spy underwear.
I don't want any RF signals near my junk. I got enough with my cell phone in my pocket. It's going to be interesting, but I know that right now, some of the professional sports leagues, they do integrate some sort of sensors into wearables, but I don't know how comfortable they are. And obviously that's not as high tech as this. These are just sensors that are made to pick up things, whereas opposed to cameras are not made to be woven into fabrics, nor are microphones, right? So
or GPS devices.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how they approach it. And obviously as technology grows, and we talked about this before, we've got carbon nanotubes. We've got a whole bunch of different technologies that are going to help us to minimize a lot of this stuff. And if you look at some of the spy cameras now that are on the shelves, like you've got ones that are as small as a button on your lapel or on your jacket. So it's getting there. The technology is getting there. I'm sure DARPA or IARPA has ridiculously small cameras with small camera sensors, but probably not for the mainstream.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I'm a little concerned as a person who sweats a lot of having all this electronic stuff actually in my clothes, because you figure that's not necessarily a good thing for these things. But it's interesting
that a short circuit and you're sweating.
Yeah, and then you short circuit and you're lying on the floor twitching. But we've come a long way from spy technology in your clothing being the shoe phone from Get Smart.
Oh my god, totally remember that. Yeah, the cone of silence, the shoe phone. Yeah,
And
those are the days. And then the watch that Dick Tracy had too. But now we've got those. So,
absolutely. Like if we can power a watch for, all day, couple of days, we could probably power most of these things in the clothing in that kind of small, like the power source. Probably you just have to plug it in every day or throw it on a magnetic charger of some sort. Yeah. But it's very interesting to see the types of things, never mind, the military doing it. We've always talked about, I remember I was just editing one of the podcasts where you were talking about, we're just 25 years away from being the military creating Captain America. Now we're talking about having some very cool stuff in the armor. How far do you think we are away from similar to vibranium, for lack of where an impact comes in and the stuff hardens automatically because of the sensor velocity, your clothing density changes and forms around the spot to, a lot of things could happen that could really make some very interesting, cool technology.
Yeah, I don't think we're far off from anything like that, because especially with the introduction of carbon nanotubes and new technologies, new textile technologies that are being developed and being researched. I think it was, spider webs, or the silk from spiders can be used, but it's the problem is the scale of that, of how to get that to scale. So if they can scale that, then we've got a better technology than Teflon. It was funny. I was just watching a video on how Teflon really stops a bullet, and it's just multiple layers of Teflon, and it just slows the bullet down to a point where it can't penetrate one of them. So it's interesting. Yeah, there's going to be technology, and I think it all comes down to nano sensors and nanobots and all that sort of stuff. So when they sense that a bullet hits you, the bots come to life or do something to mitigate that bullet. So I think I would say we're probably 20 years off from something being in the mainstream. But
we were talking about just last episode, or the episode before, the self-replicating DNA robots. Easily, you throw some sensors and stuff to trigger the carbon fiber robots that repair the hole in your jacket.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's very cool stuff when you start putting together a handful of these things that we've been talking about.
Yeah, and it's really cool. And you can even have those replicating DNA robots fix so that you don't even bruise. You don't even show any signs. You know what I mean? Like that could be real time medical repair. You never know.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting stuff. I'm really glad we're experimenting on this stuff. I can't imagine the different types of breakthroughs that we could have with this. My mind is baffled by, once you start putting this stuff in clothing and you combine it with some of the other stuff we did, why do we need a phone anymore? Exactly. Our clothing does everything for us. We talk about the AI pin and the R1 we're going to look at, and all these things that we just talk out loud, and our stuff responds to us.
Yeah, I think we're going to get to the point right now. We've got all these new XR glasses they're pretty bulky right now, but I'm actually looking at getting one, the Nreal Air 2, not sponsored by them, but really cool XR glasses that have two displays in the glasses and put them so that you can work for, you have a huge screen and a huge monitor, all that sort of stuff. I think we're going to get to a point where that's going to be the norm, where you're going to be wearing glasses that have your screen on it, that interface with your phone, that interface with maybe the AI pin wirelessly and things like that, so that you're just wearing regular glasses. And even they don't have to be sunglasses. I'm talking regular see-through glasses. If we talk about the transparent technology that's being developed, that could be the way of the future. I think you're on mute.
Yes, I was. I said I started getting advertising last time we started talking about wearables and stuff for the Ray-Ban sunglasses, smart glasses. Yeah. Have you seen those?
Yeah, those are more for POV kind of stuff. They've got cameras on them. They've got good reviews. The new ones do. They're good quality and they're really good. But those are just two cameras on the glasses. There's no screens or anything. But they're really cool for taking POV shots and different things like that and recording daily life. So really interesting.
All right, what do you got to promote, John?
Oh, nothing. Just if you want some funds, zero interest loan to change your digital footprint online, software, hardware, reach out. See that. More than happy to help.
Yeah, you know what? I've been thinking about what I want to do a series of videos with you on government funding, and we'll just do one topic per video. We'll do one on MyTac Q&A, one on this Q&A. I'd like to do one on CDAP, maybe get you and another expert in. I don't know. It's up to you. We'll talk about it where we can.
The three that I'm really good on now is Scale AI, which we should talk about because you can get $1 million to $3 million, and the OCI C2C, which is a really good program too. So there's a couple ones, and CDAP and MyTax for sure. Yeah, there's a few. Let's do it.
Yeah, send me the list of those you want to talk about it, and let's start booking them.
Let's do it. Love it.
And for those of you watching, you can join John and I at startupdrinksto.com. January 25th is our next one. There's one almost every month. So check that out. We're in person. It's open bar, open pitch. You get to talk to investors. You get to talk to mentors. You get to talk to all sorts of interesting people. If you want to work with me, go to startupcoach.ca, book a discovery call, and we can chat about how working with a startup coach could help your business. Check out mentoringmagic.ca. By the time this goes out, it'll be posted. February 14th, we are doing a co-founder matchup in-person event. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're looking for a co-founder or someone to help you take your startup to the next level, come out and join us then. All this and more can be found on torontostarts.com. Awesome. And we got Startup Face Off on Monday, which is a debate. I think you're there for that.
I am. I think I'm invited. Yeah.
I'm not. I can't remember. And the startup pitch battle on the following Monday. So, which is startups pitching. We've got Oot coming out to pitch and a few other startups. So the thing with startup pitch battle is the audience decides the winner. So come on out. You get to vote and choose who wins. Thanks for being part of Future Tech Podcast, and we'll see you again soon.
Take care, guys.
Wow, that was amazing.
See you later, alligator.